We go, Scott. We are live streaming.
Great. Thank you, Max.
Welcome, Scott.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Dina, where are you coming in from?
I'm in Houston.
Okay, great.
How about you? Where are you?
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hanging in you.
Good, good.
Boy, I've been seeing you a lot lately.
I know. That's great. Yeah. Hi, Assis.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing okay. I'm awake.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. I was, I'm one of these people that just wakes up at, I can't help but just wake up really early. I'm not very good at sleeping in. So I slept in this morning till 6:30.
Oh my goodness.
Usually I'm up at 6. I don't even need to set an alarm.
Wow. Wow. Well, I've been having to set an alarm.
Yeah.
But I woke up before my alarm this morning, so that's good.
Yeah. Hi, Helen.
Oh, good morning. I just rolled out of bed and getting my coffee.
Okay.
It's only 6:30 in California.
Okay. Wow. Well, hats off to you for getting up so early. Yeah. Hi, Dolores. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Give it a couple more minutes for people to stream in. Hi, Carol. How are you? Carol, you dealing with cicadas up there a lot too?
I'm crazy. I love them. I've already taken really close up pictures, and I'm the type, if I see them turned over, I have to turn them right side up.
No
And
kidding.
then I'm not done. Then I'll take the shells. I'll make earrings, and I'm trying to see if I want to put glue in them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a crafty person.
Yeah. Good for you. I'm
Otherwise
having
known as Meshuggah. So.
Yeah. I'm having trouble with my dog. She got a taste for them, and they're like peanuts to her, and they're supposed to be pretty bad for them.
Be careful, because I think it gets in their stomach, and you don't want them to have too many.
Yeah. So I've been like, we go on walks, and she just keeps wanting to grab them, and I'm like, no. So
The dog says yes, yes, yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. She was, I love these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Joe?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good, thanks. Good to see you. Okay. So I'm kind of excited to do this class, folks, because it's been a while. This is an older class that went on hiatus for a little while, but it's a lot of fun. Do people take a lot of selfies, or?
I try, yeah.
Yeah. I know Carol has one.
My one and only, because of what you taught me. But usually I'm taking pictures of the cat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see my arm in it.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about the infamous selfie arm a little bit. So, yeah.
And to be fair, when I did take the one that's, you'll see when I go off video, I did use that extender thingy.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get us started. There may be a couple of other people popping in a little late, but hopefully not too late. And my colleague Max is here for the next few minutes. So if you do have any issues with Zoom or anything like that, pop him a message in the chat and he can help you out. And meanwhile, I will go ahead and get the program rolling. I'll also have the chat box open in case any questions come in there. I think we're a small enough group that we can just talk casually as I go along. This is a pretty informal class. So anybody, I think I know just about everybody, but just in case, and we are live streaming. So I live in Silver Spring, Maryland, and that is right outside of Washington, D.C. And in addition to serving as a Get Set Up guide, I do some freelance writing and photography. And I dabble in all sorts of photography. I really use my smartphone a lot for photography. I'm not a huge selfie taker, but I have done a few selfies here and there, and I'll show one later today. Actually, I'll show a couple, the worst kind and the better kind. And I really love being here on Get Set Up. I enjoy the interactive learning. I'm making a lot of friends and enjoy helping people out. And I love the community building mission we have here. So what we'll talk about today is just posing yourself and holding your phone to get the best pic and how to hold it the best way. We'll talk about placing yourself somewhere where you've got a really good background and environment to try to incorporate into the selfie. And then I'll touch on some equipment that you might want to use. Carol mentioned one of those extenders and selfie sticks, as they call them. And we'll talk about how that can enhance your selfie to the point where it doesn't even look like a selfie, it looks like a portrait. So why take selfies? A lot of reasons that people do. There actually is research on this. There have been a few studies on why people take selfies. Selfies are something that we didn't do a whole lot of until the smartphone came out, and it's just so easy to do. The smartphone and social media. So we like to post selfies on Facebook or on Instagram, or just to share them with people. But, why do we do it? We want to share experiences and connect with our family and friends. That was especially important over the last year as we were sort of isolated more because of the pandemic. Some people use it to market them. If they've got a small business or they're a solo business, something like that, they use it to market and promote themselves. This is especially true for, say, if you think about, say, Olympic athletes who get endorsement deals, or celebrities who get endorsement deals. They may take selfies of themselves promoting whatever product it is that they are pushing. Say, think of LeBron James promoting some kind of sneaker or basketball for that matter. And also, we just want to document memorable life events. If we, say, finish a walkathon or a marathon and we want to document that, we'll take maybe a selfie of ourselves at the finish line, something like that. Any other reasons people like to take selfies?
There's nobody around to take them for us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Saw some other people just pop in. Hi to Georgianne and Karen and Pat and Ellen. Okay, so let's first talk about holding the phone, because that's kind of critical. When you hold the phone, you want to hold it away from your face as much as possible. The closer your face is to the camera, the bigger certain facial features like your nose are going to look, and it gets kind of distorted. So the further away you can extend your arm, the better. Just will capture more of your normal look. And it's a good idea to hold it slightly higher than your head. And this is where there's some other science coming into play here. They have done studies on how people perceive pictures of other people. And it is more flattering and attractive to have yourself looking up a little bit rather than having it come up from below. And I'll show an example of what that looks like in a few minutes, but it's just, yeah. So you might want to try just holding it just slightly, maybe more up by your hairline, or, I don't have a hairline, so just up to my forehead, just a little bit up. And you also want to look at the camera lens, not the phone screen, which is really hard to remember to do. And I do that all the time. I put it up, if I'm taking a picture of myself, I tend to want to look at the biggest screen in front of me, and that is my phone screen, rather than the camera, which is usually right above. Little dot right, or little circle right above your view screen. So that's a good thing to remember. Then you're looking at, it's a little more intimate. You're looking at the person, seemingly looking at the person who's looking at your selfie. And then we want to talk about positioning ourselves. So I've got two examples here. One is you might want to position yourself, turning your head a few degrees to the right or left, so your features look less flat rather than head on. And you'll notice this guy up here, he's doing that. It's just slightly, there's a little more emphasis here. And you might want to try turning your shoulders slightly to the left or right as well, just so it's not just this straight on flat look on your face. It also will provide a little bit of nice shadowing sometimes to just make it look like a fuller picture. And you can keep your forehead slightly down. And here's something: when I do portraits for people, a lot of times I will ask them to just have their head or their neck slightly forward. I don't know why that is, but when I was taking some photography classes, they always said for portraits, it's just a little bit better to do than having your neck sticking back. It just emphasizes a double chin, even if you have no double chin. It just kind of is not as good a look. So here's an example of what you might want to avoid doing, as opposed to this one at the top. And I'm going to show you one that I took on purpose, just to show you what I'm talking about. This is not a flattering picture of me. I mean, partly I could have smiled, but you can see here, it's showing all the sags in my neck, and just really not all that great. So I try to avoid, a professional photographer, if he's taken, or she is taking a portrait of you, they're a little bit better at maybe doing those from below pictures to make them really flattering. But when you're doing it yourself, it's just really hard to do. So
Scott, could you just right now position your head and neck the right way?
Sure. So here I've got my phone, and I am actually gonna, because it's hard to see, I'm gonna turn off my video background for a minute so you can see it better. But I got my phone right here, and I am gonna hold it right about here, and probably just kind of go like this. In fact, let me take this and see what you think. Okay. All right, I'm gonna extend it out. Whoa. Sorry about that. All right, I didn't have the best smile on my face, but let me from there share my phone screen. All right, and I can show you what that photo turned out to be. I actually am not really into taking selfies of myself, to be honest with you. So I'm probably not giving myself the best Yeah, that's very ridiculous looking. But if you just see how this is positioned, my eyes are a little more emphasized and a little bigger here, because of the way I've got this positioned. So this is kind of what you want to go for.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, your neck looks much better, which is something I care about too.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I may have to incorporate that demo into into the class, but so I'm gonna have to really get used to taking pictures of myself. Let me get my background back up here. Whoops. Okay. All right. Let's share that again. Okay. So one thing we don't always think about, and I can also point to that example I just did because you can see an unmade bed behind me. So I wasn't expecting to do that, so I didn't clean up as well. But anyway, background can be really a make or break with a selfie sometimes. You want to tell a story, not just show a picture of yourself. That makes it a lot more interesting to whoever's going to see it. But first of all, let's talk about just the surroundings. You want to look for good lighting, and natural light is ideal. I love natural light for just about any kind of photography rather than trying to create artificial light with studio lamps and things like that. But if you're indoors, you might try standing or sitting near a window to get some of that bright or soft light coming in. You might even say, if it's a really bright day and you've got curtains or blinds, you might want to draw those. Then you'll get some nice diffused light coming in, and that looks really nice too. If you are wanting to take something outdoors on sunny days, try to look for shade. Or the other thing, and if you've been in any of my other photography classes, you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum, but you probably want to take it early in the morning or late afternoon or evening. That's when the light is going to be a little more flattering if you're not in shade. That harsh midday sun, say at high noon, that's just going to make you squint, number one, and it's going to flatten your features a little bit. It's just not as nice. It's a good idea to try to go for that golden light that you're going to get in the morning or the evening. And you might want to try to avoid using your flash if you can, because that can also sort of flatten your features. It's a good way to get red eye a lot of times. So, and here you can just see, this is an example of being by the window. And here, this is kind of an overcast day. Overcast days are good too. And with overcast days, you can be anywhere and get a pretty nice shot because it's giving you that even lighting. And I was talking about trying to tell a story. So it's a good idea to maybe want to show where you are and what you're doing. So you can look for a background that offers visual interest. This is great if you are, say, on a vacation somewhere and you want to show where you are on that vacation. And that means sometimes you may want to position yourself off center a little bit. That's what we call the rule of thirds. And that is where you're sort of dividing your frame up into thirds rather than putting yourself right smack dab in the middle. So this is a good example of what I'm talking about. If you look at this picture, of course, she's got the infamous selfie arm here, and I'll talk a little bit more about the selfie arm in a few minutes. But this is not just showing me a picture of her, but it's showing me what she's about to do or what she's in the middle of doing. Number one, I really like her bike and this long road ahead. It looks like she's on a nice long bike ride. So, you know, if you're out, say, shopping or you're walking in the park, Now that we're able to get out a little bit more as some of the pandemic restrictions are loosening, good time to get yourself a selfie out and about. Okay, gonna stop there for a few minutes before we talk about just what kind of expressions, things like that. Any questions I can answer so far?
Yes, how do you turn your flash off?
What kind of phone are you using, Pat?
Pixel XL.
Okay, I don't know the Pixel XL, but I would look for a lightning bolt. That's usually kind of the universal, when you open your camera, that's usually the universal symbol for flash.
Okay.
And if you,
Okay.
I know like on the iPhone, if you press on that, just put your finger on that bolt, it will turn off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Yes. How do you, okay, I'm holding it up here like you said. How
Yeah.
do I, how do I actually click to take the picture?
So there are a couple things you can do. I'm going to talk about that in a little more detail because I know sometimes it's really hard to balance. Joe, just out of curiosity, what kind of phone do you have?
I just have I have an iPhone SE.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure if the iPhone SE does this, but I know on some of the other iPhones, a lot of times we don't realize that, but you can, if it's easier as you're holding your phone, just want to double check this. Yeah. If you press on your volume button, it may take the picture for you so that you don't have to try to fumble around and press your thumb on the little shutter thing on the screen. But the other thing you can do is time it. And if you go to the timer on your phone, on your camera, and that's going to look like a little clock. I actually, yeah, you may know where that is. You can set it to go off maybe 3 seconds or 10 seconds delayed. So you can hold it up. You don't have to worry about pressing the button at all. It'll just go off automatically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Helen.
I use that timer a lot. I love it, But
Yeah.
then, it's someplace where you need to have something for it to sit on. But I also read somewhere that those white earbuds that come with the phone, that you can use the volume button on that as a remote shutter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read that. I've never tried it, but I read that in many sources that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I know my kids buy one off Amazon that, they set it up like a timer and then they run into the picture and then you use that remote thing. But
yeah,
because it doesn't have a cord, but if you're by yourself, you can use that,
yeah,
because all the phones in the past came with the, the white one with the not the wireless AirPods, but the earbuds.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah. You might need to confirm it before you share it.
Okay. Okay. I'll look into it though.
Thanks.
Yes.
This is Dolores. How do you set the timer?
So it's going to vary from phone to phone, but on the iPhone, I can show you real quick here. I'll share my phone screen again here. Oh, let me share my screen in general here. All right. So I don't know what it might be. And there are so many different Android phones that it's hard to really know how they are similar or vary. But let me just show you what it looks like on the iPhone. When I open up my camera, some iPhones will have it already here at the top. Others, you have to click on this little caret here, and it will open this little area up down here. My timer is right here. And if I press my thumb on that, it shows the timer's off right now. But if I want to set it, I can set it for either 3 seconds or I can set it for 10 seconds.
Okay, I see it. I have an iPhone 12.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
How do you get to that screen? I missed it. I'm sorry.
So if you go to your camera, and it's either all of those icons that I just show you are either going to be up at the top, depending on what phone you have. If you've got a later model, I think like maybe an iPhone 11 or later, and you press on that little caret up here, it will bring you down here. And you've got all kinds of options here that I go over in my iPhone photography class, if you're interested in learning more about the iPhone camera. But the timer's right down here. This little clock light.
I see it now. Thanks.
Yeah.
I missed the little carrot at the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you, what are those three little circles? You don't have to go in depth, but there's three little.
Those are filters.
Got it. Thank you.
And that is something you can use on a selfie if you want. So keep that in mind. I'll just show you real quickly since you brought it up, Carol. This just gives a different look and feel. Here, I'll show this water glass here. You'll see how it just sort of changes the tone a little bit of the picture. So you can turn that on. You can even go black and white if you want. You can turn that on when you take the picture, but you can also use that in editing if you want to edit it that way. Yeah. Okay. So how about we talk about how we look when we're taking that selfie? How, what kind of expressions do we want to show? Things like that. Good idea to show some teeth. A smile is a winner every time. I would be selective about making funny faces. Sometimes it's kind of fun to do. Depends on who you're expecting to see it. If you're just sharing it, say over a text or an email with a friend or family member, funny faces are fine. But the one that I do not like, and this is a personal thing for me, but I've heard other people express some dislike for it too, is the smoochy lips, as I call them. And you see a lot of younger women doing that, especially you've probably.
Kardashians.
What's that?
The Kardashians.
Yes, exactly. And you hear a lot about influencers, right? Social influencers. And I still am not quite sure what that means, but there are people who, market themselves as social influencers, and they do a lot of this. And I don't think it's that attractive of a look, but this one over here to the right, that's just a really nice shot. Really nice smile. Yeah. And you also just want to be relaxed and natural. You don't want to over edit with those photo apps and filters that I mentioned. Carol, you had asked about those. Look at this and tell me which one you would prefer here. This one, the guy almost looks like a zombie. And, do you really want to look like that? Sometimes it's easy to go down a rabbit hole with these filters, especially if you take a selfie and then you want to put it on Instagram. If you've ever posted anything to Instagram, you'll see that before it actually posts, it gives you these options to use all kinds of different filters, far more than what you are built into your phone. So you can get all kinds of different looks, and this is just one of them. But I would not want to do this to myself unless I'm, unless it's Halloween or something like that. But this one's just a nice, flattering selfie. Does anybody like this one? At least for themselves.
Nope.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, it looks horrid.
Yeah. Well, let's talk too about some helpful equipment. A lot of times selfies are going to be really spontaneous and all you're going to have is your arm. So you just use that. But if you've ever been traveling, sometimes you'll see people who are using these selfie sticks and also something like this, which is a portable tripod. So let's first talk about the selfie stick. Excuse me. This allows you to get more visuals into the frame just because you're moving this up, extending it out further. So that's what Carol was talking about earlier. And some selfie sticks come with Bluetooth so that the trigger for the camera is here on the handle. And it's wireless, but it would trigger the camera to go off from there. I think even with iPhone and maybe with the Google features on, say, on any Android phone, you might be able to do it with voice commands. I actually have never tried to do that, but I think you can just say, "Hey Siri, take," which she's probably going to do right now because my phone's right next to me. "Hey Siri, snap a picture."
Hey,
In fact, look at
Scott.
that. It's
That camera hasn't added support for that series.
okay. So that's with my my video camera that I've got on right now, but I could probably do that on my phone and just say, "Hey, snap a picture right now," and Siri would do that. So that's another thing you can do. I know, Joe, you were asking about how do you manage snapping the picture when you're holding the phone yourself. That might be another way too. But these selfie sticks are pretty handy. They're very portable, and you can just see here. Here's a good example. It would be hard to, number one, get the whole group in there, and number two, to get some of this beautiful background scenery. And you can also use a tripod and the timer. So tripods come in all kinds of sizes, but you can get some very small ones that are, this is a good example. They're actually optimized for smartphones. They have this little slot in here that is adjustable. So no matter the size of your phone, you can just slide it in there. These legs bend. One of the big brands is GorillaPod that has these type of tripods, but the legs bend. You can wrap them around, say, a pole or something like that. So they're very versatile. And then if you use the timer, you don't have selfie arm at all. Because you can just set this up for yourself and get in front of the camera and it will go off and a few seconds delayed, and you won't have to be holding the phone at all. So that's just an example of a selfie that I took. And as you can see here, I'm not holding my arm out, and I just did this with a tripod and a timer.
That's a nice picture.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
I have one of those selfie thingies, and what's this for? The little RCA cable thingy?
Wow. That's interesting. You know what? I don't know. Whether that's something that you can, yeah, I'm not sure, Carol.
But
Yeah.
I got this at Dollar Tree, and if you take this off, this can go right on the same Dollar Tree cheapy tripod.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah, thanks. They do make combos too, like hybrids, I think, that are, both a tripod and a selfie stick. So I've not seen how those actually work, but I imagine it would just fold up if you want to just use it as a selfie stick, but it probably has legs that you can bring out if you want to use it as a tripod. So, yeah. Okay. So the other thing too is that these come in handy when you're doing those group shots. And sometimes the group shots can be pretty challenging to get everybody in. So that's when the tripod and the timer works out a lot better because or work out a lot better. Sorry, my grammar's not good today, but that would allow you to set things up on a tabletop, or some of them are longer. This one, and I've got one of these, it's about a foot high, and I can set it on any tabletop to take a picture. But the other thing you can do is buy some that are a lot longer that still will accommodate a smartphone. And because everybody is taking pictures with smartphones now, a lot of the tripods that are coming out, no matter what the size, they do have these slots for fitting your cell phone or your smartphone into. There are some that will do both, that some of them will be designed just for smartphones. Others you can do both a smartphone, and if you've got a digital camera, it will fit in there too. So, yeah. So, other questions? No. So, who's going to go out and take a selfie today then? Carol. Okay, Joe and Carol are. Okay.
I do have a question.
Sure, Felicia.
On the side where you said the volume could help you take the picture,
Yeah.
is it the up one or the down one? Which one would you?
The one I used was the up one. And it just will, on my iPhone, if I click on that, it takes the picture automatically. I actually did not know that until somebody in one of my classes told me about it.
Okay.
But that makes it a lot easier if you're holding the phone up, because it is hard to, especially I have no dexterity, right? So I'm fumbling around if I try to press that button on the phone, and my phone screen is really, my phone itself is really big. I've got an iPhone Pro 11 Pro Max, so it's a sort of a jumbo size, and I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to my short thumb over to the shutter button. That just doesn't work. So being able to just hit that side button makes it a lot easier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah, Helen.
I was thinking, I took that basic, the iPhone tips class from Wade.
Yeah.
And I thought he said you can use either the up or down button to snap it.
That could very well be.
Yeah. I guess you can just try it both ways,
Yeah. I know that if you are ever using an iPhone and you want to do a burst capture where the phone just keeps going off and off and off and off and off, that's good for like action shots. So if something's moving real fast, you are doing a burst, and in one of those frames, you're probably going to get a really clear shot. That you can do, you can set it so you just use the volume up button, but I think it is only the volume up button for that. But yeah, for just snapping any old picture, I think, yeah, that's probably right. Wade would know. So
can I share something about a burst?
Sure.
With my husband and I, we took a cruise to Alaska, and we went up to Denali and the mountain,
yeah,
beautiful hotel lodge lobby, and we wanted a picture with both of us in it, and we didn't know how to do a selfie. So this elderly gentleman was walking by, and we asked him, "Would you mind taking this picture for us?" So he says, "Sure," and he got that. He says, "I don't know if I got it." Well, he got like 427 shots in that burst. He never let go of his finger. Yeah, he never let go, and he did more than one. So I had to clean up all that stuff. But it was so funny when he said he wasn't sure he got it. Anyway.
Oh my God, that is
one of the memories from Alaska. So
yeah. Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah. So anybody got a good selfie story? Any place you've done a really bizarre selfie? Any location? No. The ones that get me are people who are taking selfies, say on, well, I've got a selfie story. This one scared me to death. My wife and I were in Iceland a few years ago, and there is this big canyon there. I cannot tell you the name of the canyon because it's nothing but, in Icelandic, it is nothing but consonants, right? I mean, the Icelandic language is very consonant heavy, so you know, vowels are minimal in all of their titles, so I can't pronounce the name of the canyon, but it's beautiful. But there's this big ledge. You're not supposed to go out on it, but people completely ignored that, and they walk out on this ledge, nothing to protect you. It's very narrow, and they were taking selfies of themselves, and I thought somebody is going to not pay attention to what they're doing, and they're going to back up and they're going to fall right off of that. It's a very deep canyon. So, you know, if you're, depending on where you are, you do want to be aware of your surroundings so you don't get hurt.
I think there was a story, I'm thinking maybe 6 or 9 months ago, where that happened in the Grand Canyon.
No
Somebody was
kidding.
doing that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
On
Yeah.
that, I think they built this new ledge that goes out over the canyon, and somebody was doing that very same thing and took a step back or took the wrong step, and see you later.
Yeah.
Apparently that happens all the time at the Grand Canyon. My husband's grandnephew sat on a ledge where I would no more go than anything, but he's out, and I took a picture of it, but it's frightening.
Yeah.
How he was just sitting there on the ledge. If he'd been losing his balance at all, he would have gone, you know, not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And years before that, my husband went on one of these mule rides. They go up and down the canyon.
Yeah.
Well, the mules meet each other on 2 trips that way, you know?
Yeah.
And my husband saw a guy almost, except for the fact that the mule knew how to get back on a track. It's like he would have gone.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily I'm leery enough of some heights that I can avoid situations like that. So, but a lot of people are real daredevils. Much to their risk. Yeah. By the way, Cease, I just found out I am going to the Grand Canyon next summer. A friend of mine is organizing a trip, so this will be my first time at the Grand Canyon.
Wow. Well, I hope you find a shot like this somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I found that. I think it was on the South Rim.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will be careful about taking selfies there.
Right. And be careful when you go have lunch, because they have these places where you can go have lunch and you're not even aware that the Grand Canyon is only a few feet away.
Yeah.
And there's no fence, no anything.
Yeah.
So be careful. Please.
Yeah. I definitely will.
But enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So just to give you a summary, remember to hold the phone away from your face and above your head and look into the lens, not the phone screen. Turn your head slightly and keep your forehead slightly down and neck slightly out, and look for good lighting and surroundings. Just be natural, relax, smile, and consider that selfie stick or tripod or the hybrids, whatever you'd like to get. Just for pricing wise on those, I didn't mention, I think they're pretty inexpensive. So there are some tripods out there for heavy duty photographers who maybe have these gigantic lenses to do telephoto shots of wildlife, things like that. Those are in the hundreds of dollars sometimes, but for what most of us are using tripods for, you can get them really inexpensively, like $30 maybe.
The little lenses aren't that expensive, are they? For
The
for
little
phone?
lenses for your smartphone
Yeah.
are not, no.
Okay.
So,
I didn't
yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Okay.
That's another class. I don't know when it's scheduled
Right.
next, but if you're interested in getting some lens attachments for your phone to do different effects, we do have a class on what those all do and how to get them. So someday we may have some kind of selfie party or something here on Get Set Up. But in the meantime, if you have a selfie you're really happy with, based on what you learned today, and you share it on your social media feed, would love it if you give us a little shout out. Let people know where you learned how to take a picture like that. Our hashtag is Get Set Up. You can always drop Liz on our team an email as well and share it with her. She's always eager to showcase the creative work that our learners have done based on what they've learned on Get Set Up. Just some related classes, some fun things related to social media and art and so forth. We have a class on top drawing apps that my colleague Donna teaches. And there is a class on Facebook. If you are not a Facebook user and are curious about it, you can check that out. And then there is one on virtual backgrounds for beginners on Zoom. Cease can talk about how much that helped her create the background she's got.
Yeah. I mean, by the end of the class, I had this on there.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I did it. I'd have to look at my notes.
Yeah. Yeah. And my next class is in about 45 minutes. I've got a class on do-it-yourself gifts for the graduate. If you have somebody in your life who is about to graduate from high school or college or graduate school, or for that matter, even say elementary school or something, this just walks you through all kinds of things you may not have thought of, not only things you can create online, but also just some artful ways of giving cash. So feel free to join me for that. Love to see you there. And Monday, I am teaching one of my 3 nature photography classes. And this one is focused on taking pictures of wildlife. I have to be careful. I always want to say shooting wildlife, and that doesn't that doesn't come out the way I mean it. So it's snapping wildlife, maybe. And I also want to tell you about, some of you are already aware of this and may be participating, but we do have a new event, weekly event. It's called the Photo Challenge of the Week. And it's an interest group where we all shutterbugs are welcome. We just get together to share photographs that are based on a theme. Every week has a different theme. And we tell stories behind those photographs and just offer some feedback, advice, suggestions, and just really have a lot of fun. And we then vote for a winning image, and the top vote getter gets a prize from Get Set Up. So would love to see you there. The next photo challenge, this will be Friday, this coming Friday, is cats. So if you've got a picture you're really excited about a cat, or of a cat, maybe your cat or a friend's cat, a stray cat, whatever you can find. And if you don't have one, if you want to go out and try to grab one, all are welcome. And you submit your pictures to this email address. I will include a link to the registration page for this. The pictures are due by Wednesday at midnight so that I can get them all assembled so we can look at all of them on Friday. We get together Fridays at 4:00 Eastern time, and it's really good fun. So really great fun. So if you want to join us, we'd love to see you there. And when you do book a class, you can easily invite a friend to join you. Love to if you could spread the word about Get Set Up. If you know other people who would benefit from it, from some of our classes, you can then be all set up just by clicking here. It's all set up for you to just share on Facebook, WhatsApp, or email. And we do have the class notes that I will send out. That will also allow you to recommend the class to a friend if you want, because we will be repeating this. There is a National Selfie Day, I think, coming up in June. So we'll definitely be doing this a lot. And you can do that via Facebook or email. We'll have some other class suggestions for you. You can view the entire Get Set Up class schedule, and you can give feedback. Whoops. There's a rating system that most of you have taken a lot of Get Set Up classes, so you know the drill here. You can rate the class or the guide on a 5-star scale. Love to hear your comments about what you liked about the class, what you didn't, and also what other classes you would be interested in seeing us offer, the classes that we're not offering already. We build our curriculum based on the feedback we get from you. So keep those suggestions coming. You can also email us with those suggestions at help@getsetup.io. If you would like to host an interest group of some sort on Get Set Up, we have interest groups of all kinds on the platform. People are getting together to talk about life changes, about shared hobbies, about favorite movie genres, you name it. So let us know about that, because we can get that set up for you. And you also, if you are a member of an organization that might be interested in partnering with us, or you know of an organization that you think might have partnership possibilities, we do partnerships of all kinds. We're doing them with senior living communities, with state governments, with local governments, with the YMCA. So just drop us a note and we can follow up on that. And again, if you want a recording of this session, you can email us at help@getsetup.io as well. So hope this was fun, and go out and have some fun taking pictures of yourself.
It was. You have a Canva class, and I haven't seen it listed lately.
There are a few Canva classes. Is there one in particular you were interested in, Felicia?
The startup one, the one that just generally teaches you about Canva.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me look into when they can get that scheduled again. Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing a lot of Canva classes now. We just started one that launched yesterday on branding on Canva for if you've got a small business. But we also have one on creating cards and invitations on Canva, doing photo books on Canva, things like that. So, but
I'll stay tuned.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
All right. Thank
Well,
you.
everybody have a great weekend, and hope to see you all again soon. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Hi, thank you.